had no one sign up to speak this evening. Move right into our discussion items for the work session. First item is regarding CGI communication agreement. This, I believe, was presented to you last week regarding our video showcase program. Was this discussed at the previous work session? I think we've discussed it once before, maybe in the previous work session. What this is this company would like to come into Jackson County, do some videos for us, and place that on our website. We are producing a new website, so it kind of go hand in hand with that. There's no cost to the county. The way they earn their funds is by going to local businesses and then ask for sponsorships from those businesses. So the businesses will actually have ads. When someone clicks on this link, it'll show the business ads and then show the video, corresponding video for Jackson County. I think there are a total of 6 or 7 videos that they'll place on this. We did mention it before. I think wanted everybody to go to the Scottsboro City website and take a look at it to kind of get an idea of how it looks. And did you have any concerns or thought on this, Mr. Porter?
I really did not. I haven't had a chance to review it some time ago, and the only issue that I want to make sure that the commissioners understand is that GCI owns the information. It's not county information. Once they produce it, it belongs to GCI, and they have the right to use it however they want to.
So, being a work session, I'd like to get this on the agenda for next Monday if there are no concerns with it. Are there any other questions or concerns at this time? If there's no objection, then I'd like to place it on the agenda for next Monday night. If there are any concerns for that time, we'll discuss again Monday, but otherwise we'll hope to proceed. Okay, next item is regarding the ServPro agreement. You all have a copy of this item. I'll just ask Brian Pittsford is here with us to kind of explain what this is, HVAC duct cleaning. He can kind of share some of the benefits. I think it'll be very beneficial for the county.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I appreciate the opportunity to come tonight. And I've got copies. They already have copies of this package. Most commercial buildings or governmental buildings, duct cleaning is not something that's usually top of mind. Some people have it done every 4 or 5 years, as would be recommended by the industry, and others have it done once every 10 years. Most people have never had it done at all. I don't know if this courthouse has ever had duct cleaning. If it has, it's probably been many, many years.
We want to look at and confirm we want to do this. We are having a small energy, I guess, audit through the month of July. So if we were to do this, actually, we'd probably not do it until August. And that'd be a good time to kind of see if we save any energy by doing this as well, if this is the first project we're going forward with. So what I'd like to do, give us a little more time to think on this and see if we have any other questions, is put this on the next work session, that first work session in July. See if we have any other questions, see what other opportunities may exist, and then try to see what we can do to move forward from then. Of course, that gives you some time also to get some answers to some of
In the
these
meantime, on those questions, I will get answered.
And we can get you or your contact person with the person that is doing the company that's doing the cleaning right now, so that they can talk with them and see what services are overlapping.
Okay, very good.
Any other questions or comments for this time?
I'll leave y'all with this too, Mr. Milton. That's a brochure on our duct cleaning. I've got a card in each one of those. If y'all have any questions, feel free to give me a call on this or anything else. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Next items regarding HR consulting agreement. Going through the process of working through the HR department, I think we've seen where there's several policies that have been amended or rewritten, and of course there are several more that really need to be reviewed and gone through, along with looking at a pay scale and organizational charts and job descriptions for all our county employees. Mr. Manning and the HR, Ms. Willis and myself have met with a representative from Rocket City HR to discuss the possibility of looking at some updates to our different items. The agreement that you see before you here is regarding the personnel handbook. The personnel handbook hasn't been updated since 2005. I know there have been a few changes since that time, but they've not been included in the handbook or really amended in the handbook. So the purpose of this initial action would be to enter into a contract with Rocket City HR, leave us an open contract through for a year that would allow us to do whatever items we needed to do. But initially, of course, the first statement of work that we'd like to pursue would be this revision of the Jackson County Personnel Handbook. Now you have, on item 2 here, you have the cost for this and a not to exceed number. The reason that we kind of want to take this first statement of work and see how it's going to work, we don't believe it's going to take near the time that's estimated to complete this personnel handbook. We know there are several changes that need to be made to it, but we don't think it's going to take near as much time, and we don't think that it'll get anywhere near that dollar amount. However, we did want to put a limit in there in case we did see excessive needs for the personnel handbook. So what you have before you is a statement of work for the revision of the personnel handbook, services agreement with the representative from Rocket City HR, as well as a revision recommendations. And what you have on that last page, the recommendations, that's just several of the items that need to be changed, but there are several more as we go through the process that I think that will need to be done. And Mr. Porter, you've had time to review the agreement already.
I have. It is pretty simple. It's at will. It's for a particular price per hour, for how much time they spend on it with a cap on it. And I'll just say there's not any question in my mind that the personnel policy or the handbook needs to be reviewed and revised. Right now, there are just so many conflicting provisions. Every time an issue comes up, we have to really interpret our own policy to be able to know what it really says. So I think this would be something that would be beneficial to the county.
And again, the purpose of doing this is the smallest of the projects that was discussed with her. If we move forward with this, see how this project goes. If it does work out very well, then I would like to pursue, further with the personnel policy, with the job descriptions, with organizational charts, with pay scales, moving to the larger, which of course the contract will leave it open to that, but the commission will have to approve every statement of work, so we won't be able to start another job without the commission approving the next statement of work if we do decide to move forward. So, questions, comments, thoughts on this?
Will we be ready to print the books once this is complete?
Yes. What will happen is you'll go through the whole process, meeting with HR if we need, if commissioners have recommendations, meeting with the commissioners, but go through the whole process and have it set 100% ready to print so that all we have to do is take it to a printer. And again, looking at the breakdown of the hours, which I will try to email everybody to take a look at, the breakdown of the hours on this, I really don't believe it'll take as much time, but if it does, we'll get probably a lot more than what the cost is. Any other questions or comments? And I would propose that we pay for this if we choose to go forward with this. We did budget additional funds in contract services for this year that are not being utilized because we changed the way that we're doing our maintenance agreements for HVAC, so there's some savings there. So I propose that we just use this, or use budgeted money for this. There would be no increase in the cost on our budget.
Which fund is that?
That'll be on the commission's fund under contract services. Any other questions or comments? Is there any opposition then of placing this on the agenda for next Monday night? Okay, if there's no opposition, then we'll place that on the agenda at that time. The next item regarding knuckle boom for the Public Works Department. I know this was brought up at the previous work session. Mr. Level, did you have anything else to add on this for tonight?
I got some quotes, but I think the engineer also got some on the unit.
I thought I had copies of these books, just got one off the top. Top line unit, and this is just to tell you how far you can go with it. It's about $180,000 to $200,000.
You want to bring that to the next work session then? Okay, so we'll have that on the work work session, first work session in July, after recommendation. Okay. Next items regarding district lines, Mr. Porter.
Mr. Chairman, we talked about this at the last meeting a little bit, and it has been a subject of discussion for actually a number of years about district lines, and I think I sent everybody a letter today outlining what I've been able to find. And I can find no requirement that the district lines be surveyed and that there be a legal description, a surveyed legal description of the district line. And this has been going on for years. All the way back, the first thing I was able to find from the commission standpoint, 1995, a request was made at that time regarding district lines. And it actually, the issue of district lines goes all the way back to the 1800s. As early as I could find, 1878 was the time that the county was authorized to draw district lines, but I never could find anything showing where they had been drawn. But there is a map that has been recognized for 50 years as being the district lines. So my recommendation is that the commission take that map that's been used for 50 years and relied upon as being authoritative and adopt that as the district lines. And that'll answer the question.
Any other questions or comments?
The immediate resolution is not perfect, no question about it. But it's better than where we are now, and that is with no official designation.
So do we have a recommendation then to put that on the agenda to go ahead and adopt what we have in place, confirm that in the month, and then we can look again?
I'll move that we put it on the agenda.
Okay. Any objection to placing that on the agenda next week? And all we'll need is that map, correct? If there's no objection, then we'll place that on the map, or that map on the agenda next week. Okay, next item is assistant for the Boy Scouts. Camp Jackson has been doing a lot of work. A lot of volunteers have been doing a lot of work out there to bring that camp back up to level as it was before the April 2011 tornadoes. And they've asked for a little bit of help, assistance from the county in hauling a few loads of gravel. All that, they've purchased the gravel from another source. We would just be handling that, transferring that to the camp. In order to do that, we need to confirm that that is of a public interest. And I think we'll need to vote on that next week if there's no objection to moving forward with that assistance. They've done a lot of work out, like I said, they've had a lot of folks volunteer to assist in that. And of course, Camp Jackson is a beautiful place for everybody in Jackson County to enjoy. It's not been up to the pinnacle. I know a lot of folks do that hike up and up there, but it's a fantastic place for the citizens of Jackson County to enjoy. So I think it's important that we help in any way possible. This is a very small way, but a very good way, I think, that we can assist if possible. So any questions or comments on that?
Loads of gravel for the meeting and what kind of time will it take for our trucks?
I can't remember the exact number of loads, but I think we've got a couple of months to do the work.
25 loads.
25. And we've got a couple, 2 or 3 months to do the work. They've got a contractor which will actually spread it, so all we're doing is dropping it off for them, and then their contractor will spread it.
Commissioner, I've spoken to Carol about what we're trying to do is get some of the volunteer truck drivers to come in on Friday. So show us that.
And we can spread that over time frame. There's no objection, we'll place that on the agenda for next week. Next item of discussion on water treatment program. You have 2 proposals from 2 companies regarding water treatment. I think it was discussed last week to put this out to bid. We can do that, however, it's well under the bid law. And we do have a couple competing proposals, and of course I can get more if necessary. You have Guardian IMCO, which is the company that has been providing this service over the past several years. As far as I'm aware, there have been no concerns with that company. And then you have Jake Marshall, which has taken over or is doing just the spring maintenance for the HVAC system. We're working with them a little bit, and they seem to be a very good company as well. You'll see that one is just a few $100s lower than the other one. So I'd like to place this on the agenda next week to vote on either way we go. I think they're close enough that either one would be fine as far as the cost. One concern I did have, and Mr. Mr. Guthrie, I'd like to discuss a little bit more with you. I think there's a price, if you look on the second page of Jake Marshall's recommendation, the price for boiler treatment. I'm not real familiar with that, but that's not something that's being done right now. And I guess we need to discuss whether that's something we need to begin doing.
Yeah, I think it's something we should have done 20 years ago. If we don't, our boilers wouldn't have a lot to do about it. The only thing I'd like to say is, I don't know Guardian of the company, but as far as Jack Marshall Service, the only thing that I would be in favor of them doing is because they're going to be doing a PM. Guardian is a chemical company, from what I've studied, and they know chemicals. But if they're going to be up there working on the chemicals for a cooling tower, it would be nice to have a technician that while he's up there, if there's a problem with a bearing or a belt, or they're going to notice and write it up, where these people ain't going to know that problem. So they're $300 cheaper, and then you get a better technical person doing the job. That's my opinion.
Any other questions or comments? I will get Guardian to submit price for the boiler treatment. Hopefully we can have that by next Monday, but if there's no objection, then we'll place this on the agenda for next Monday to go with one or both of those treatments, as far as the boiler and the cooling tower. No other questions? Okay. That concludes the items for discussion. Move on to our reports. Mr. Wyder? Mr. Porter?
I don't have anything.
You did. Mr. Miller? Mr. Guthrie?
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, I had police, fire chief from Flat Rock, Macedonia, and Egan has contacted me about chainsaws. They done a lot of work during this cleanup. They want us to help them out with chainsaw. I think a lot of they were using their personal chainsaws, and I wanted to bring it up at the commission meeting so we something we could discuss or think about. You know, I don't think it'd be right just to go out here and buy a few chainsaws for a couple of fire departments, but I think we need to look at, because they are saving the county a lot of money. The road department goes out there, a big help to them when we have storms like that come through, so I think it would be a good idea for us to look and see what we can do to try to help the fire departments out with the chainsaws or emergency equipment.
I think there are some funds we might be able to look at to utilize for that, but I'll also get with fire marshal. I know they've got that fire tax, and there's a substantial amount there. They may be able to work with them to get some funds from that fire tax. I'll check with them. If you want me to, get back with you.
Yeah.
Anything else? Mr. Venable?
No, sir.
Mr. Ledwell?
No, sir.
Only thing I'd like to say, we'll begin having our budget meetings. Everyone, I think, should have gotten a letter in their boxes from Mr. Manning regarding setting up meetings for the budget. Now that we've had a year under our belt with this, I guess you could say, new budget, and there's still a lot of changes that need to be made as we understand it more and more. But hopefully this year we'll have an even better understanding and have a better process in place. So we'll be setting that up, and the way that process will work will be meeting with the department heads and the commissioners initially to kind of go over everything, and then we will meet again with them separately to go over any details that they may be requesting or think that they can help us out on as far as reducing our budget. When we start to sit down, our first budget meeting in July, we'll try to have numbers for you on exactly where we believe we're going to be on the overall budget. We began with a roughly $1 million deficit, or $900,000, which has grown a little bit due to some other shortcomings, but we found a couple of possibilities where reductions have been made through this year. So hopefully we'll be in a better situation along with the local laws that have passed. I think we'll be around $400,000 or $500,000 still as far as the deficit goes, where we need to consider some other possibilities and pursue some further local laws this coming year. So but we'll try to have that number at the first budget meeting that we have in July, and we'll try to meet every other week as far as after the commission meetings to update and give some information on the overall budget. So, With that, that concludes everything we have for this evening. We'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Make your motion.
Motion, we have a second.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.